The Podcasting Dead is available on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Make sure to subscribe for more podcasts. And while you're at it, drop us a like. If you want to help support the channel and have access to extra content, secret contests, and more, make sure to search for us on Patreon. Patreon.com/thepodcastingdead.
It's Monday after Christmas. I'm hungover, but nonetheless, we're here, and we're going to talk some Walking Dead what-ifs. And there's some strangers in our studio. These two fellas just wandered in this morning, but they were so nice, we decided to let them stick around. Seth Scott, a.k.a. the Appalachian American, and Tommy Gladden, a.k.a. Tommy.
Tommy Gunn. Well, we were lost, so we just figured we would ask for directions. They just drug us in here. We didn't know.
All the way from Roanoke, man. So was that like an hour and a half drive?
Hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah, like I hike up around there all the time, so I'm pretty used to that and like the Winston-Salem area. Not Winston-Salem. What is it? Salem area. Yeah, I always say Winston-Salem. So yeah, I like Roanoke much better than where we live. Y'all have prettier views.
Yeah, prettier views. Yeah.
Y'all got snow over Christmas, right?
I still have snow.
You still have snow?
Yes.
You lucky bastard. We got rain. Remember Christmas Eve? It was raining.
It was just rainy. It was wet and messy and awful.
About 11 p.m. it turned into ice.
Man.
And then at 2 it turned into snow. So we got about 1.5 inches of ice, and then the rest about 1 inch or so of snow.
I just want some. We hardly ever. We get snow like once or twice a year here, and then like that's it. And usually it's icy more than snowy. So. But nonetheless, all right, but we're going to do some Walking Dead what-ifs, and you guys left us a lot. But before, I got to ask, what is this giant wrapped box?
That is a display item for y'all's new home studios.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh. All right, well, JP, do you want to start opening it?
I don't know where to start.
Do you want a Lady in the Tramp this? We'll just start.
No, we ain't going to kiss each other.
I didn't say kiss, but, All right, ready?
Yeah.
I mean, it's in a box, so it's not like you're going to know what it is.
The big reveal's not yet.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just used the box.
And for other listeners out there, if you want to stop by and drop us off gifts, we're not going to complain.
Do you have knife?
No, I lost it when I was drunk Saturday night. There you go.
Somebody's always prepared. I love it.
It's dull, but whatever.
I texted a guy at like 5:30 this morning, and I was like, do you have my knife?
Shucks.
I want my knife back. All right.
That's becoming a lost art, though, is people carrying knives.
I've carried one every day since I was basically an adult. I mean, as a kid, you couldn't carry one into school. But, I mean, you just never know when you need to open a box or cut somebody.
Is it?
It's just 4 pieces of tape.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, then it opens up.
Towards myself, but I'm going to do it.
Well, it's dull, so I doubt you'll cut yourself.
Hey, what do they say? A dull knife is more dangerous than a sharp knife. Let's see what you're working with here. Oh, nice. Winchester?
I got it from Walmart.
It
was a Black Friday $2 special.
Oh,
$2.
man, $2.
Yeah.
Shoot, I'd buy a knife for $2. Yeah, I have a little Kershaw from Walmart, man. They got Spyderco and stuff. They carry some decent knives.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're ready.
I think so.
I'm going to hold it. You open it.
Okay. Oh, gosh.
All right, I think
you're going to schmidt your britches.
I'm going to schmidt my britches. Oh,
look at that. That's like a real deal.
Awesome. Y'all make this?
Yeah, I made it.
I really
this
want
is
to
a
bludgeon
Lucille All right, so JP, can I hit you once?
Dude, this is real. This is real deal. I don't want to be pulled over with this in my car, quite frankly.
That's why I wrapped it. I don't think we get pulled over.
These are Lucille bait Louisville sluggers wrapped in barbed wire. Holy crap.
Guys.
Man,
I don't know what to say.
Like I said, I want to hit you really bad, JP. I don't want to kill you, though.
Well, it would hurt.
Yeah, I was going to say.
This is legit. I mean, you actually have it. You actually have something in there holding it. Because I always wondered, how does Negan get the barbed wire to stay on the bed? Yeah, that's awesome, man. Thank you. My girlfriend's going to come downstairs and go, oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
That's going to be in the home studio, man. That's awesome.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I'm mounted up on the wall some kind of way.
Can we sword fight with it?
I'm afraid.
We can walk out of here while y'all do that.
Come back in and say, all right, so now I'm looking for a new podcasting partner. Well, thank you, fellas. That's awesome, man. I didn't know you were coming bearing gifts.
Uh-oh.
I just unplugged my headphones.
Uh-oh.
All right, so Walking Dead what-ifs. And if you didn't know, Seth has been a listener for a very long time. You've been listening pretty much since the beginning, right?
I don't know, somewhere.
I know it's been
I remember Matt being on the podcast.
Yeah,
so
that was the beginning. So I think that was for the first year or so.
Yeah, probably so.
Man, I didn't expect to get a present.
Bam.
If Matt does walk into the studio, we shouldn't say anything. We should just be like, "Morning."
Definitely an attention getter. Wow.
That is badass, man. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Every time you see a live podcast from the basement now, it will be in the man cave.
Sweet.
All right, so Walking Dead, what ifs,
All right,
JP? What you got, man?
Kick it off with Stefan Miller at the very bottom of the list. Well, not at the bottom, in a bad way, but just, happens to be there.
Unless he likes being on the bottom.
Oh, jeez. What if Negan actually took Carl's deal in Season 8, Episode 8, a.k.a. kill Carl to save the many? Imagine Carl wasn't faking, and because he was already bit, was willing to go down to save everyone else in that way. How would this have played out? Would it change the story, and would Rick have accepted?
I doubt it. I mean, still, the general thing is he beat his son's head in with a baseball bat, so I don't think any father would still accept that.
Yeah, that's a tough pill to swallow. You murdered my son. I think things are cool now.
But he died for peace.
Right.
So I'm going to forgive that. Seth, Tommy, what do y'all think?
Yeah, I don't see no forgiveness there.
No, you killed my son. Voluntary.
If Rick didn't know that he was bit,
yeah,
all bets are off and he's dead.
Dude, I miss Rick so bad. Y'all still miss Rick?
Yes.
I miss Rick. I got some friends. All right, so check this out. I got two friends. We'll get to the what ifs in a second. I got two friends, husband and wife. They're watching The Walking Dead for the first time ever. So she's been texting me like wanting spoilers, and I don't like spoiling things. So she texted me the other night and was like, "What's up with this governor guy who just mowed down the military?" So I just went all bullshit on her. I was like, he's a human-zombie hybrid, and he hates humans because he can't be fully human again, so he wants to wipe out all humans. She completely ignored the fact that he's around humans all the time. And then I was like, it's really brutal when he kills Glenn. You'll know what's going to happen when he's tied to a chair. And then you think he's going to rape Maggie, but he ends up eating her. And she's like, oh, my God. She sent me a snap of Glenn out of the chair. I was like, I'm not ready for this. Then she sent back later that night, fuck you, and have a Merry Christmas.
You talking about human hybrid? Have you ever watched Z Nation?
Yeah.
That show. Oof.
It's, I thought Black Summer was really good, which was like a spinoff of that, but it had a much more serious tone. I don't want a zombie apocalypse comedy. I have that with Zombieland. I want like some gritty,
Getting that Z-weed.
Because one could control them, right? Like he
was zombie hybrid.
I hated that show, man, because Michael from Lost was in it. One episode. He was in the very first episode. He's the one that found, like, the zombie baby. And they've been promoting it with him. So I was like, oh, cool, it's Michael from Lost. And then, like, 10 minutes in, I'm like, well, there goes Michael.
They must have just paid for one episode.
That's all they probably could afford with their budget. But so what do you think, JP? You think that there would have been forgiveness?
No, dude, that would have been an awful deal. That would have been much meat on the bone for anyone.
Beat my son with a bat, but because he wanted to do it, there's now going to be peace.
Yeah.
I think Rick would have went even harder because he didn't necessarily blame Negan for Carl getting bit, because he even told him was like he did it helping a stranger, which was stupid as hell. But so if Negan would have been the one to kill him, I think Rick would have went full scorched earth. It would have just been like straight up. Just kill them all.
Mm-hmm. And that would have been that. But thank you, and as always, we got a bunch of good stuff from
When
Stefan
gives us a versus scenario, we have to now include that we have Negan bats.
Oh, yeah.
Because that could change it. Stefan always wants us to fight for some reason. I think there's some hidden, like, just wants us to kill each other. So
it's weird, man. We've had some listeners that want to see us, make love. We've got others that want to see us murder one another. Others that just want to see us have a good time and be happy.
Both would be a terrifying sight.
Yeah, for sure. But speaking of good listeners, the Kyle, King of Trash People, 5 days ago got a good crossover scenario. What if Saul Goodman is in one of the Nebraska colonies? He was sent off to Nebraska with a new identity. Could Saul talk his way into being a leader of Omaha or even recruited into CRM? How would Rick react to seeing the lawyer of the great Heisenberg as a leader?
I don't think Saul Goodman would become a leader.
I don't know, man. If you watch Better Call Saul, dude, you realize he's a lot more than just...
See, and I hadn't seen it. Have y'all seen that?
Oh,
I watched the first couple episodes.
I watched the first 2 episodes. I feel like he would get eaten.
I'm telling you, man, ride it out. It's a slow start, but Better Call Saul, it's right on par with Breaking Bad.
I feel like he would be a better talking... what's his name? Eugene.
Yeah. I feel like he'd be like Gregory, but a little less douchey. You know what I mean?
He'd be like a hybrid between Gregory and Eugene.
Yeah. Oh, I saw a movie where Gregory was Satan. what was that movie called? I'll find it for you, but it's a horror movie, and it's like basically the devil just wants you. He's trying to get you to commit suicide, and like Gregory, the whole time he had like long white hair, and I'm like, who is this guy? He looks so familiar, and he was Satan, but it was Gregory. I was like, well, that kind of fits. He was way less bitchy than he was in the show. Like, you don't want to mess with this Gregory. But yeah, I think Saul Goodman would be like Gregory, just not quite as slimy. I think Gregory was just a bastard. I don't think Saul's a bad guy. He just can manipulate.
I'm telling you, man. I think if he had Mike Ehrmantraut at his back, I think he could totally.
Oh,
rule
Mike!
his own
Mike in the Apocalypse will be awesome.
Mike changes the game.
Yeah, totally.
Mike's not like a leader, but if you got him as your right hand, I mean, come on.
Mike's like Daniel. He's kind of like the Daniel of the Breaking Bad world. Like, he's an older guy, but he's a badass. He's not a leader, but at the same time, if he's after you, you know you're in some shit.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. But good stuff, Kyle. Thank you. Let's see. Man, my thumb gets ahead of me sometimes. Where'd it go? There
Has that gotten you into trouble before?
That has, man. It has. I don't want to smell this thumb, believe me. Dylan Watson, mere 16 hours ago. What if Rick forgave Shane for trying to kill him in Season 2 and they made it to Season 3? Would Shane try to kill him again, or would they team up to take out the governor? And does Lori still die? I think Lori dying was just going to happen regardless.
Hopefully it still happens, but I thought about that. Like, what if Rick would have just like subdued him and been like, all right, y'all, he tried to kill me. What do we do now? But I think Shane was too far gone. I don't think Shane would have ever stopped trying to kill him.
Yeah, and I think Lori dying would have, if anything, just made it worse.
Oh, yeah, because then he would have blamed Rick for his booty call getting killed. You know, so yeah, I don't think it would have made anything better.
And he's the one that put the bun in the oven, so essentially it's his fault at the end of the day.
But he would have this sweet new baby.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that would distract him. How do you think Shane would be as a father?
But if she had died the way that she did in the comic book, and Shane was there, he would have went ape style on.
Oh yeah, spoilers, because that was actually one of my favorite parts of the comic, just because it was so shocking and I didn't see it coming. So you've been warned. We had one guy straight up left our channel because we spoiled the comics. So I don't want anybody to feel spoiled, but here we go. But in the comics, Lori gets gunned down in the prison assault and then falls and crushes the baby. It's terrible. Like, it is one of the most heartbreaking things, and it comes out of nowhere. You flip the page, bam, Lori's insides are blown out, and then the baby's arms like hanging out from under her, crushed. I thought it was going to happen that way in the show, and I thought, man, that's going to get dark. But then, of course, she just had to die giving birth.
Yeah, I mean, more realistic, I guess. But yeah, that scene in the comic, man, is just still scorched into my brain. And
they tried to retcon it by writing a whole book series, because everybody was mad that that the governor was killed by some no-name character in the comics. So then they wrote all of those books. I think her name was Lily. She had the same name as the governor's booty from that new group. But the books, like the first 2 or 3 are great, and then they just go to complete crap after that. Like, don't even waste your time. Read the Road to Woodbury, The Rise of the Governor, and The Fall of the Governor, and then just don't read any of the others because they are just garbage. Like, just let it go.
Well, hopefully they use some of that source material for a new governor show at some point.
I hope they do, man. That's twisted, dude. The book is, like, twisted. I mean, we're talking, like, torturing people, like, rape for days on end, making someone watch him rape. It's some dark shit, man. It really is.
I do not want to go to the rape factory.
Is that a factory?
It sounded like one to me. You just punch in for hours on end, just raping.
I think it was in a barn too. It was rough. So yeah.
No,
the barn of pleasures.
They're perverting it to something awful.
Factory of rape.
Oh, Jesus.
Is that what did the barn of pleasures like take over the factory of rape and make it a much better place?
I feel like enough people escaped and just formed something that was more pure and maybe not wholesome, but just
it's pure.
Something on the positive side.
Yeah, that's all it took, man. King Ezekiel just led everyone into a barn of sex.
Yeah, he's like, look, hedonism's fine as long as everyone's consenting and having fun. Oh, man.
Brought Jerry along too.
Dude.
Poor Jerry. He just wants to get involved in the sex, but since Shiva died, he's like, Jerry, someone has to be Shiva. You're the only one that fits. Poor Jerry.
Roar, dude.
Roar, dude. Whatever. You're awesome, King Ezekiel.
Oh, man.
I love Jerry, though, man. I really think they need to kill him off, but I say that because it would be heartbreaking. Like, we haven't had a heartbreaking death in The Walking Dead in so long. Like, where somebody dies and you just left, feel like when Herschel died and you just are left feeling empty after the episode.
I think they're afraid of it.
They are. They're terrified to kill someone, and it's like, dude, you're on the last home stretch. I'd start killing off main people left and right now.
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, we generally kind of rejoice when they kill people off now because it's an awful character that we're glad to see go.
Or like they'll kill off, like when they do kill someone off, it'll be something stupid like Princess. And you're like, what? She just showed up.
Yeah.
What the hell, man? Like, kill off. Father Gabriel.
Yeah.
Death that we should have got at the end of season 10. Absolutely. Went out like a boss. Instead, Maggie came and saved the day.
Yeah. She tends to do that. But here's a good one from UV. You ready for some UV goodness?
Sure.
What if everything that happened from season 3 to present, now we're talking season 3 all the way up until now, was a dream / nightmare for Rick, and he woke up at Herschel's house in shock, completely speechless, seeing Carl laying on the bed. Lori and Shane come to see if Rick is fine after his extreme blood transfusion for Carl. Shane is cool with Lori and Rick getting back together. Herschel isn't a D word, and Otis makes it back. Oh, yeah, and Sophia never got lost. How would Rick even react to this, seeing everyone that happened never actually happened? Everything that happened never actually happened. Would they survive longer because of Rick's experience from his coma and or nightmare?
Well, Sophia would still be lost, though. She got lost before they made it. That's how they ended up. He got shot, right? They were looking for Sophia, and it was Rick, Shane, and Carl, and then Otis shot. I mean, number one, I would never let my child walk up to a wild creature in the forest like that. To begin with, I'd be like, yo, deer can mess you up, man. I've been hunting my whole life. I've seen them tear other animals up. But even still, I don't care what Otis like, I didn't see him. Like, oh, you saw him. You just were like, well, there's some random kid in the woods.
It might be a walker.
There's deer meat. But no, I mean, I think Sophia would have still been lost, but that would have been a very detailed dream.
Yeah, man, he would definitely have to have great recollection.
I wake up like 2 minutes after my dream, and I'm like, I had a dream where I was somewhere. JP was there for some reason, and then my grandma was, I don't remember. Like, that would have been a very detailed recollection.
I think he would have got up and went straight to the barn to check the barn. Been like, you guys in there? Oh, no? Okay, good.
He would have went in there and opened it, but instead of walkers, King Ezekiel would have been like, welcome. Jerry would be like, roar, dude, what's up? Jerry, tigers don't talk. My bad, dude.
Roar.
Herschel comes in and is like, well, welcome to the Barn of Pleasures.
No, not
Shane and Lori are already in there. We've been here the whole time.
Oh.
But you have to keep Carl outside a minimum of 18 years of age.
Oh, yeah.
Dad, Shane, and Mom have been wrestling in there for like the last 3 days while you were out.
Oh, man.
Is it just me, though, or does Carl seem like the accident-prone kid?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Like, I kind of wish he would, like, after he got shot and healed, like someone kidnapped him until he became an adult to come back on the show.
Yeah, everybody I've talked to, my friends that are now watching it, they're like, dude, Carl's the worst. And I'm like, he gets better. I didn't like him at all the first few seasons. Once they got away from the prison, I started liking him more. But in the prison, all the safety and security, I guess, allowed him to be. People are like, he's a kid in the I don't give a damn. Your kid's a brat. Like when Rick brought all those people back from Woodbury and Carl's like, the storm is off. I'd be like, yo, your ass is grounded. Get in your cell block.
Here comes a whipping.
And don't come out for like 3 days until you can like people.
Yeah, and that accident proneness is eventually what took him out.
That's so stupid. Yeah. I won't get back on that because I can go on all day. But stupid.
Yep.
My mom thinks their souls are trapped.
Thanks a lot, Scott Gimple.
Yeah.
No shit, man. I mean, like, Scott Gimple's given us some great moments. Don't get me wrong, but some of the worst moments, too, man. Some of the dumbest decisions that just forever hurt the show.
No doubt about it. But good stuff, UV. Keep it coming. I know you will. This next one is from longtime listener, Eternal Wreck.
Hey.
What if the governor would have cut Rick's hand off back in season 3? What if the governor had killed Tyrese and said, well, it's a few here. So we'll stick there in season 3. What if Governor had have cut Rick's hand off, and what if the governor had killed Tyrese instead of Herschel?
My heart would have broke a lot less.
Yeah, Tyrese in the show I was definitely not that attached to.
But he's great in the Orville.
Oh God, yeah, I keep forgetting.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, he's one of the. What are their names?
If you hadn't asked me, I could have told you.
But I love them, especially the episode where they smoke cigarettes. The aroma is most pleasing.
Yeah.
Then he eats it. He's like, "No, you're supposed to light it."
Grows a mustache. Was that the same episode? I don't know.
No, but it was. I think it was before he brought Tyrese's character onto the ship like permanently, or maybe not. But I know that was different than the cigarette episode. But no, Tyrese on the show, I liked what they were trying to do, but it just didn't work. Like, I liked Chad Coleman, and I liked it. When Tyrese died, I was very sad. But I wasn't as sad as I was when Herschel died. When Herschel died, like, I was like, I'm never... If you find my Facebook and go back to, like, 2014, there's a post that was like, I'm done with The Walking Dead. I'm never watching it again. Screw this.
Yeah, man, it's weird how, like, Tyrese, they want him on one hand to be like a gentle giant. On the other hand, he's like, can kill like 50 people with his bare hands or whatever.
Like 50 walkers with the carpenter hammer.
Right, yeah.
Like, just gets engulfed. I love that, like, other zombies will get like a foot away from someone and like launch and bite them. Meanwhile, they're all like at a concert pressed up against him, and he's just like, yeah, yeah, and not a single one lands a bite. Plot armor.
But before I got my CCP, I went and bought a hammer just to keep. So I was like, I'm going to be like Tyrese and carry a hammer.
Just in case the zombies hit. Yeah. Dude, hammers make great weapons. I wouldn't know, but I hear. Now that I have Lucille, I don't have to worry about hammering someone to death.
Yeah, I'm sure there's been more than a few murders done with a hammer.
But no, I think if Tyrese would have died, I don't think it would have hit Rick and them as hard as the Herschel thing. Like, Rick just immediately started shooting when he killed Herschel. I don't know if he'd have necessarily done that for Tyrese. I mean, they had just gotten a fight. They weren't that tight. I still don't understand why he didn't kill Michonne. I'm glad he didn't, because she's like my favorite character on the show. But I still, like, she stabbed your freaking eye out. And a lot of people have had good explanations. Like, well, if he would have killed me, he thought if he killed Herschel, it would pressure Rick to listen to him. Whereas if he killed Michonne out the gate, whatever. But still, if I was in the governor's shoes, Michonne's head would have been the first one to go off. You took my eye out. You killed my daughter. You completely took everything I had and turned it upside down. Your head's coming off first. But,
I think he had it bad for Michonne deep down.
Baby, I love the way you stab my eye. Ain't no woman ever done that to me before.
I'm telling you, man, there's many different portals to the zone of pleasure.
I'm sure. He's like, I want to take you in that barn down there, and I want you to stab my other eye. While you hook up a battery to my nipples.
Even better.
But no, I think it would have been a lot. I don't know. Do you think Rick would have just started shooting and went crazy if Tyrese got his head chopped off? Or do you think it would have been a little bit slower of a burn?
Man, I definitely don't see him just having that knee-jerk reaction. He'd have definitely been like, oh, shucks. I like Tyrese pretty good.
That's the way I react when someone I'm not that familiar with gets their head chopped off. Oh, shucks. Yeah. I bet that hurt.
Oh, man. But, I definitely don't think he would have just went off the rail like he did just immediately,
If he would have chopped his hand, they were going to do that, actually. Like, they were when they were writing, they were talking about how to do it, but they said it would, at the time of the show, the budget wasn't that high. And to have have Andrew Lincoln's hand basically CGI'd like a nub, which I don't know why they couldn't just slide something like Merle had, but
or Aaron, he's got like an iron fist now or whatever.
All the attachments.
I was gonna say, there's no telling what kind of stuff. Aaron's like mace ball. You know what this is, and it can be used as a weapon, but that's not its intent. But I think that if Rick's hand would have been cut off, man, I mean, in the comics, he was still a badass with one hand.
Oh, yeah, man. If anything, it made him more of a badass.
Because, there was a whole, like, scene in the comics where he was, like, learning to shoot with his left hand because the governor had taken his dominant hand. So I think Rick would have been fine. I'm glad they didn't, though. I kind of think, like, from a writing standpoint, I think that was kind of, I don't know. I wouldn't have chopped my main character's hand off that quick. But Robert Kirkman also didn't know how long the comic was going to go.
Didn't Kirkman say that he wished he hadn't have done it in the comic?
I like Robert Kirkman's honesty, man. There's a lot of stuff in the comics. He's like, with Abraham, he's like, I wish I wouldn't have killed him off so abruptly. Like, he was a great character. Everybody liked him, and it was kind of a shock value thing. But then once he was dead, I was like, oh, that sucks. He deserved something better. But that's also what I liked about the comic. Because, I mean, that's how real life, like, you could be the main character of your story, and all of a sudden your just head gets blown off. And it's like, not everybody gets a ceremonious death. So it's good and bad at the same time.
Yeah, man. Good stuff. And, man, Eternal Wreck, I was going to maybe jump back and move up here to Allie Smith, but this is a really fun question. What if you could decide which characters from any Quentin Tarantino movie could be in the Walking Dead TV series? Who would you like to see?
Samuel L. Jackson from Pulp Fiction, and then Samuel L. Jackson from Hateful Eight.
I've actually got to look up the. It's freaking Michael Madsen from Reservoir Dogs. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What was he, Mr. White or he was Mr. Blonde, right? Was he Mr. Blonde?
Zombies, motherfucker. do you speak it?
I'd like to see both though, Mr. Blonde and Mr. White. I don't know if you guys saw Reservoir Dogs, but
I have. It's been a long time since I've seen that one though.
But anyway, that's my favorite Tarantino. And
that's one of your favorite movies, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, Harvey Keitel's character and Michael Madsen. Yeah.
What about y'all? Which Tarantino character would you want to bring into the Walking Dead world?
Can it be two?
Yeah.
I'd like to see the dudes, Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt be the characters of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Be in there because they were just funny, playing off each other and goofing off.
Yeah, they were great together.
Yeah, man, I love that movie. It was a long movie, but it was awesome.
Yeah, a lot of Tarantino movies are that way. They're long, but they're worth it in the end, just because it's
Especially if DiCaprio had that flamethrower, man. Freaking yeah.
What about Uma Thurman from Kill Bill? Like, I feel like Michonne is a badass with a sword, but that's only because she kind of knows sword play, and there's nobody else with swords. So Uma Thurman would have came in and just started slicing through zombies, and Michonne would have just been like, "Well, I'm not the swordsman no more."
Let me just put this down.
I give up. But Uma Thurman would be badass.
I was going to say Leonardo DiCaprio because I want to see him get eaten by a zombie.
Oh, man. Especially from Django Unchained. Yeah. Get that one.
Jesus. They definitely couldn't have him on AMC.
No.
Not enough censor buttons for the.
I think within the first 2 minutes, Michonne would have been like, whoop.
Yeah.
Done with
sounded
this
like Morse code.
No way you can defuse all those N-bombs.
No. You watch that movie and you're just like, you're watching it alone at your house, but it was so many N-bombs dropped. You're like looking around like, Jesus, man. My neighbors don't hear this.
Yeah. Turn the volume down a little bit.
I remember being in the theater, man, just kind of looking around and be like, is it okay that I'm here? Is it okay that I'm here?
It's cool. It's cool. Yeah. He's saying it, not me.
He's saying it, not me.
But I wasn't laughing at what he was saying. I was just laughing at the wardrobe.
But it was good. All the people that were that way got theirs in the end.
Yeah, they did. It was
what's the German guy's name?
Was it Klaus?
He's in a lot of different movies, but he was in Inglourious Bastards. He was the evil Nazi leader. I'm terrible with names, but that guy's freaking awesome. He had the dentist wagon in Django Unchained. He was the one that bought Django and freed him and all of that. He's the one that had that cool ass little pistol that came out of his sleeve when he went to shake Homeboy's hand, and it was like.
Yeah. I want to say he won like 2 Oscars in a row because he did Django Unchained, and then the next year did what was it? Or no, it was Inglourious Bastards. Then it was like the year after he did Django.
I've watched a lot of interviews with him behind the scenes. He seems like such a cool dude,
yeah,
such a laid back, cool, intelligent guy. Yep. But I can never think of his name.
Yeah, I can't off the top of my head either. But one name I always like to say is Ashley O'Neil. Here's a good one. What if there was a episode of The Walking Dead where they had Christmas? What gifts do you think they would give each other? Oh, man, that's warm.
Here's some crackers.
Somebody give Daryl some soap.
Yeah. Soap in a barrel.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Like, damn, Daryl, take a shower. It's been like 10 years. Jesus Christ. Because what was it, Carol, when they got to Alexandria, Daryl was like, you look ridiculous. And Carol's like, have you bathed yet? And Daryl's like, no. Daryl, your body odor is messing everybody up, man. That's why I love when girls like, Daryl's so hot. He probably smells like nutsack and butthole. You know what I mean? Like, This dude is not bathed in, like, ever.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I would like to, I wish we had time to do, like, a 12 Days of Christmas in the Walking Dead universe. But
start it out. Get as far as you can.
On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love brought to Merle 12 rocks of meth. I guess you can say. I know usually rocks associated with crack, but maybe 12 grams of meth. Well, yeah, that makes sense.
I'm not on the up and up with my meth. Is that a good quantity of meth?
Oh, dude, that's a lot. Yeah, you get a gram, brother, you're gonna be rolling. You're gonna be going for a good while. Yeah, you guys could run back to Roanoke.
Just
yeah.
No, I want to read you a song. So my friend that is watching The Walking Dead now, he texted me. He got to the part where Merle died, And you know that song, Story of a Girl, that this is a story of a girl. So he said, this is a story of a Merle who killed a zombie and downed a whole beer. And while he looks so ghetto and Woodbury, I absolutely hate it when he dies. And he said, R.I.P. Merle. I said, yeah, I think Merle is one of the few characters that was just like a racist piece of shit, but everybody loved him. Like, I have a friend that, you know, is black, and we were at my house talking about The Walking Dead, and he goes, straight up, man, one of my favorite characters is Merle. And I was like, really? He goes, hell yeah, he's a racist piece of shit, but he was like our racist piece of shit. He was like, and he kind of turned at the end, you know. I mean, he was getting better. If he wouldn't have died, he probably would have went the same way Daryl went. It just would have taken him longer. I still think Merle should have stuck around a little bit longer.
Yeah, he's like a post-apocalypse Archie Bunker. You know?
I think we had said that we would have been perfectly fine if Daryl would have been the one to die. And then that could have, like, inspired Merle to be a little bit better or something. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, dude. It's a shame that was at the height of, like, Daryl mania.
Yeah.
That would have been a cool
Kill Daryl and we riot.
Yep.
I'd love to see Michael Rooker come back like as like the alpha ghost to Carol.
Oh, yeah.
Just maybe like once or twice a
yeah.
season. Him be like, Daryl, you're an idiot.
Take a shower.
Yeah.
Damn, brother. I'm the one that does drugs, but Jesus, at least I shower. That would be, well, with the Tales from the Walking Dead coming out, I hope they're going to do like a Daryl Merle backstory, like how they got with the group at the camp. And because, I mean, they were going to straight up rob it at some point. So I'd have loved to have seen like how all of that went, because Daryl sucked ass in the beginning.
Yeah, he did. Not in a good way. But here's a good one from 17 hours ago. Drekos, what if Daryl never drove that truck into the sanctuary wall that ultimately let the Saviors out? Now, I've thought about that many times myself because, you know, Daryl kind of
screwed the pooch on that one.
Yeah, he was the fly in the ointment.
That's when I hated Daryl. I was like, just kill this stupid bag. Like, every other episode, it's like, I hate you, Rick. We're brothers. It's like, do you love Rick or do you hate Rick? Every episode was, but I mean, because I love when they were like, he's like, did I do this? And they're like, no, Eugene did. No, you did this.
Yeah.
I would have never let him live that shit down. 10 years down the road, if I was Rick, and I was like, I think we should build a fence around so-and-so. I disagree. Shut up, Daryl. You have no opinion on anything. Remember that time?
Did you take a shower? No?
Go take a shower.
Shut up.
Then report to the Barn of Pleasures.
Yeah.
They probably have a sign that's like, Daryl Dixon not allowed. Unless he showers. No. What do you think, man? Do you think it was Daryl's fault?
Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, they should just post it up where they were and starved them out. You know, I mean, classic, just like castle warfare. You know, you get them surrounded, you starve them out. You know, that's it. Daryl just had to fly off the cuff.
Like he always does. Just like when he tried to take Rick off so that Maggie could kill Negan. And then they were fighting again. I'm like, oh boy, Rick and Daryl are fighting again. Well, I was not. I like Daryl now. I was not a fan of Daryl during that whole season, like 8 through like 9. He just got on my nerves.
Yeah, man. It's weird how they want to take one of their best characters and just make you not like them, you know? Which The Walking Dead has a knack for that sometimes.
Yeah, Carol's gotten that way for me. I loved Carol back in the day, man. I was like, this is awesome. She's like, you know, I don't think she's old. JP plays her off like she's 80. I'm like, she might be in like her 50s. I think she's a pretty lady for her age. I mean, when the first season or two, no, but you see her kind of dolled up behind the scenes. You're like, okay, she dresses up nice. But like this older lady kicking ass, it was cool. But then it was just constant. Like, I don't want to kill no more. I got to kill people. I don't want to kill no more. I got to kill people. Like, man, go talk to a psychiatrist.
You and Morgan just go hang out somewhere.
Right?
Yeah.
Sit in a corner.
I love the two people who struggle with killing people, though, tried to kill each other.
Right.
I mean, essentially, it was, you know, I mean, I guess they didn't want to kill each other, but I mean, they were like fighting in the basement. And poor Carol, man, like Morgan body slams, like just DDTs like this old lady. How does she not have like fractured back, slipped disc, something?
Seems like she wouldn't have been getting up from that.
I mean, that was straight down on pavement, like power bomb.
Yeah, man.
Stone Cold Stunner.
Yeah, been great if it like just ropes would have appeared. Like after he slams her, Morgan's like, "All life is precious, bitch." Elbow drop off the top rope.
Oh man, oh man. Oh man, here's some sour grapes on here, but it's a new commenter, so gotta show them some.
Sour grape. That's the username.
No, Fear Your Own Spirit 6 days ago. Just kind of sour grapes of a comment. If this series wasn't made, I could have saved myself a good bit of time by not watching the first series. What an absolute bore fest. Oh.
I mean, what is he talking about?
Talking about
Is he talking about
Beyond?
maybe?
I don't know.
Maybe he's just talking about the Walking Dead what ifs, which I mean, the great thing is there's always other options
There's that
on
back
YouTube.
button you can
Yeah,
hit.
right. I think maybe not, because we definitely have people that are like, y'all suck. I'm like,
Thanks.
cool. Awesome,
Click
man.
that like button on the way out.
I've done that. I've said something. We had one commenter that like every video would comment some negative shit, and I was like, and yet here you are.
Yeah.
Thanks for the views. Just by clicking our video, you're giving us views.
Yeah.
So, thanks for the support, man.
But yeah, I fear your own spirit. I'm sorry you're unhappy with whichever series you're talking about.
If he's talking about The World Beyond, I agree. That schnit. Have y'all watched that all the way through yet?
I've seen a couple episodes. I've got it on a DVR, but just can't bring myself to do it.
It's hard, man. It's slow and it's boring, and the characters are not likable.
I'll be honest, I'm 2 seasons behind on The Walking Dead.
Tommy!
Because of my wife. She started watching them like last, about a month ago. And
I
she's
don't
like,
want to
"You
give no
can't finish
spoilers.
it." No.
I thought you was caught up.
I started to, and she started
you
watching
liar.
it, and she started back from season. She said, "You can't finish it until I caught up to you."
Man, so you haven't got to the Rick Darrell sex scene yet.
What?
Yeah,
Oh, they
it
bump
was-
uglies. It's crazy.
yeah, it's wild, man. Like, right?
I don't know if I want to watch it now.
Negan's there and Carol's there. It's wild, man.
But spoilers don't bother me. It just increases me to want to watch it more.
See, I'm one of those, man. If somebody's like, "Did you see The Walking Dead last night?" I'm like, no, I haven't.
I think I did that. I did that one time with you. Sent you a message on Facebook and was like, "Hey, did you see such and such?" And you were like, "I'm not there yet." I was like, "Oh crap!"
Well, like The Mandalorian, I'm glad
Yeah.
you told me. You were like, "Hey, go ahead and watch
Go
it,"
ahead.
because
I
if you
learned
get-
from that.
If you get on Facebook, man, it was like the second I got on Facebook later that night and was scrolling through, it was like just article after article spoiling the crap out of the big twist at the end, and I was like, "Oh, thank you God for Seth Scott."
Darth Vader shows up at the end of Mandalorian. What?
What?
Just kidding.
Hell, you never know, man. I mean, they definitely are doing that Anakin show. Anakin and like Obi-Wan.
Yeah, he's going to be in the Obi-Wan show.
And they say they're trying to get James Earl Jones to come back to voice Darth Vader.
Oh, they've got to, man.
I would love to see an R-rated Darth Vader
Hell yeah.
film where
Yeah.
he's just slicing and dicing through the galaxy.
They need to, man. I mean, he's a dark-ass character. I was looking up like top 10 weird facts about his suit, man. If you haven't got a chance, look that up. That's wild. Like, it's some weird stuff with his suit. Like, it's made to be itchy and uncomfortable so that he's always irritable. That he never gets to enjoy a moment of, like, just peace.
The robotic connections are painful.
Yeah.
And so the Emperor wanted him to be constantly uncomfortable so that he would never try to overthrow the Emperor.
But there was another suit made for him.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
In the EU.
Huh. Really? Was it more comfortable?
Yeah, it's supposed to be more comfortable and make him more stronger. Well, not stronger.
But it was a white armor.
He has white armor.
That's always, it's like if they have black, the next gen has got to be like with PlayStation. Like they did the white PlayStation. It's so funny because I had a guy over at the comic shop was like, "I don't like the white PlayStations." I'm like, "Dude, but that's the thing." He's like, "I'm waiting for the black special edition." I was like, "The PS4 was black, and everybody when they had a white one as like a special edition, I want the white one." Now they got a white one, and everybody's like, "I want the black one."
I would have liked to have had the Spider-Man red one. That would have
That
been
was
cool.
awesome, dude. That's one of my favorite games.
That was never available. Like where I was,
I gave JP the Spider-Man game and told him not only is it the best comic game that I've ever played, it's one of the best video games I've ever played to play it, and he held it for like a month, and I don't think he ever even fired it up.
I didn't, but I will.
It's fun.
I will. I'll get around to it.
Once you beat it, you just swing around the city and just mess around.
It's like GTA,
GTA.
but you're Spider-Man.
Oh, man.
You can't drive cars or shoot people,
But you don't need to because you got spider webs
Impact
and
weapons.
all these cool powers, and you get to see him kind of naked if you unlock his final suit.
yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, Peter Parker
Yeah, I
just
wanna-
swinging
I wanna
around in
see that
undies and a
bulge.
mask.
Yeah.
The story is awesome though, man. Like it's like watching a movie. But
Well,
yeah,
I will get on that, but
heard that before.
I'll get on it. Probably not, but maybe. I'm playing some stuff. I'm doing some things.
he's just now for the first time in his life playing GTA 5, and I'm like, dude, that came out like 8 years ago.
It's a good game though.
it is, so it's stood the test of time.
Yeah,
it's old.
It was only $15, so that was good too.
I mean, hell, when it being like 7 or 8 years old, it better be like $15, man.
Kraken King, 4 days ago. What if the Whisperers found King Ezekiel under the metal plating after the Battle of Hilltop, while Alpha and the Whisperers were scouting the battlefield and rounding up walkers? How do you think each scene would play out if the characters below were the first to discover him? Alpha, Beta, or Negan?
If the Whispers found him, they would kill him. Unless Alpha tried to seduce him too. She's just like in the middle of the battle starts taking her clothes off and she's like, let me speak to you. I'm starting to think Alpha just wants to hump everybody.
Yeah, I think that's part of her animalistic nature.
If Beta would have found him, he would have taken him to Alpha. If Alpha would have found him, she probably would have just killed him. And if Negan would have found him, I think he would have probably let him go.
I just imagine a bunch of random whisperers uncovering him, and he'd be like, hey guys, you want a party?
Let me take you, before you kill me, let me take you to a magical place. It's a bond. Are you tired of only Alpha getting laid?
Now you can't too.
They didn't touch that in the show, which I don't blame them. But you know that the whole rape culture was left out of the Whisperers. Like in the comics, there was a huge thing. Like that's why, you know, Negan was at odds in Carl too, because like Alpha was just letting people rape her daughter, and her whole thing was like only the strong survive. So if she wants to learn, she's got to learn to fight them off, and like that shit would not fly on TV.
It would have, that'd have been more like HBO material.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think that Alpha would have killed him. I should have made an example of him, but she still would have killed him. Beta would have taken him to Alpha because Beta was Alpha's big bitch. And then I think Negan would have let him go. Or just been like, oh, shit. Just close it back down and be like, nothing to see here.
Ew.
That was a good episode. I liked the Battle at Hilltop.
That was good,
it lacked people dying. Mm-hmm. That was my big thing. I'm like, if a hilltop's going to burn to the ground, you got to take like one or two main characters with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Aaron should have left.
What was it? What was that movie? It was in the Conjuring movie franchise. It was about the Nun, I think is what it was called. It's a decent movie, but like no one dies except for like at the very beginning there's someone that kills themselves, and I'm like, when you stop killing characters, you feel like there's no danger. You know what I mean? Like, there's just no danger to the situation they're in. You're like, oh, they're going to battle. They'll all be okay. They'll probably kill off some character I've never heard of. No, like Hilltop, man, you should have taken like 2 people out.
Why was the nun so angry?
Well, she was actually, what's her, she's a demon.
Yeah.
Demon, and what is her name?
Lilith?
Something the Defiler. Not Vlad. Valak or something like that. Valak the Defiler. And she doesn't defile anybody the entire movie. Like, not once. It's like, you do not deserve that nickname. I haven't seen you defile not a single person.
Doggone. A good one, Kraken. Let's see who else.
Do y'all want to see how I actually sit during most of these podcasts? Because JP's usually more that way. Like, is this not generally the way I'm sitting most podcasts?
A lot of times, yeah.
Like, I'll just stretch out because, I mean, it's early in the morning. I'm just kind of like, let's do it.
Yeah.
But now my feet have to be closer to JP.
No.
You don't mind, do you?
Nice socks.
Beer, which I shouldn't be wearing because I'm still hungover. I don't recover like I used to, man. My mom and dad were like, this Christmas, you know, my mom didn't want to cook a big meal. I was like, well, I could just get some pizzas and y'all can come over and play some games and we'll drink. And she was like, yes. I didn't realize what we were going to be drinking was straight liquor the entire time. And I'm paying for it even still. Then Saturday night rolled around. I was like, I'm hungover. I'm not going to get drunk tonight. And I got drunk. It was like, I'm paying for it, man.
Just kidding.
It was mostly beer, and I was fine. And then, of course, somebody's like, let's take a shot of so-and-so. And I'm like, this is how it starts. And then it just did not stop.
I'm telling you, man, what cured my last really bad hangover, a bowl of SpaghettiOs, a couple of pieces of good honey wheat bread, a capsule of Brain Force, and one full bottle of water. And I'm telling you, all the B vitamins, brother.
All the gay frogs just went away.
Well, they don't bother me anymore.
Brain force.
I
I think the cure for a hangover is just to eat and drink a lot of water. Like that is, and some Tylenol don't hurt. But
my
I mean,
wife likes Pedialyte.
It's all about dehydrate when you drink. So I mean, if you do something to hydrate yourself, the faster you do that, the faster the hangover goes away. But I sat around all Saturday, like just like speaking in moans. I sounded like a walker. I'm sure somebody would have like walked in and been like, "I think Justin's turned."
You behave.
I also told. I think I said it. Did I say it on Patreon? I had also told this couple that are now watching The Walking Dead. I was like, "You're gonna think I'm messing with you, but you can turn." What Jenner whispered in Rick's ear at the end of season 1 was he told him that if you lick the zombies, they'll turn back to people. And I was like, it's weird, but just stick with it. I'm warning you, because in season 3 they run around licking zombies and it gets kind of weird. And he was like, no shit. Like, I don't know if you're pretending to believe it just to make me laugh, but the thought of like them sitting there like, when do they lick people? Just cracked me up,
Lick them any minute now.
They're going to start the licking soon.
Ooh.
Bring that to the Bond of Pleasures.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, man. We got a few more up the list. We'll go ahead and hit Stefan Miller again. Here's a good versus scenario. Justin, Jesus, Morgan, and Oberon Martell versus JP, Braun, Merle Dixon, and Trevor Phillips. Who's Trevor Phillips?
GTA. You should know. You're playing GTA.
I didn't know his
It's
Christian
dude
name.
Simon.
Okay.
From Walking Dead.
Yeah, he seems like a fierce warrior.
Yeah, I think he would have whooped Negan's ass in real life, man.
Yeah.
He had the size, the muscle mass. I just don't see.
And the meth drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that.
Dude, in that game, man, he kills. He's a freaking
He
beast, man.
stomps this dude's head in the game.
Yeah,
I get
that was a
that.
main character too from what was it? Fallen Angel. It was a GTA add-on, and you played as like Johnny something, and that was like who he kills at the beginning of GTA. But like that was a main character. They just snuffed out like that.
Yep.
But no, I mean, I've got the Mandalorian on my side, so you're screwed.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, he's a fierce warrior. Morgan and Merle, that's a little bit of a toss-up.
Depends on how methed out Merle is, and it depends
Yeah.
on which Morgan I get. Do I get the
Right.
all lives are precious? Do I get Cowboy Morgan? Or do I get like all I see is red Morgan? Because there's a big difference. Yeah, there's a big difference between the three.
If it's clear Morgan, you're all dead.
Right. It's like while he's fighting, we're like, let's get out of here.
Oh,
My life is precious. Let's go.
sweet, sweet Morgan.
I don't know though. I'm gonna say with Morgan on my side, Oberyn Martell was a beast. Do y'all watch Game of Thrones? Oh man, like he. I don't want to spoil it for you, but
I
like
ain't gonna watch it. Don't worry about it.
never.
Nah.
All right. Well, spoilers, but like he's fighting the mountain, which is like this ginormous dude. I mean, he's huge, bigger than that doorway. He's like Mr. X from Resident Evil. And it's like he whoops his ass, beats the hell out of him. Apparently the mountain had raped his sister and then killed her. So like rather than finish him while he's on the ground, he taunts him for too long, and the mountain just sweeps his legs out from under him, rolls over, and pops his head like a zit. It's like one of the most talked about scenes from Game of Thrones ever. But like Oberyn Martell had him, like he beat the hell out of him, and then just got too taunting.
Yeah, that hubris got him.
I think he's going down. You had who else on your team?
I mean, Oberon Martell, dude, that's going to be hard for anybody to take him out. If he's focused on his game and not strucking.
And on the show, keep in mind, that's the Mandalorian. That's Pedro Pascal is who played Oberyn Martell. And like on that show, man, he was banging everybody. Guy, girl, didn't matter. Like him and his lady, they were all about just humping anything with an orifice.
Yep.
Giggity.
If it had a hole, he was like, love is beautiful. Let me stick my cock into it.
Oh, man, it was a good time.
But who do you think's going to win that one?
Like I said, man, it's tough to put.
And I have
anybody against
Lucille.
Oberon. Yeah, I mean Martell's in the mix. I don't think anybody in my lineup could beat Oberon Martell. So
You had one big person.
well, Braun. I mean, I think he would put up a good fight, but
Braun. Oh yeah, man, screw him. I liked him the whole show, and in the last season, they just turned him into a dude. I'm telling you, if you ever do watch Game of Thrones, it is a 10 out of 10 perfect show all the way up to the very last season. That last season is like a 1 out of 10.
How hard it dropped off.
I mean, insane. Like I used to say, it's the best written show I've ever seen because The Walking Dead struggled to take like 20 main characters and make them interesting. Game of Thrones did that in their sleep, and then added more characters that you like. You know.
Yeah, it was wild.
So you lose.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's taking down Oberon.
I'm glad Stefan started to help me out, though, because before a while, it'd be like Justin, a decrepit old lady, a toddler, and, Carol before she went badass versus JP, Rick, Michonne. I don't have a chance here, man.
Oh, man. Good old Stefan. Moving
always
up
leaves us some good
to
ones.
Joe Bynes. What if Rick didn't kill Shane, but instead knocked him out and disarmed him?
Hey.
Takes him back to the group to tell them how Shane tried to kill him. We kind of touched
Talked
on
about that earlier.
But yeah.
I think that they would have said to let him go. I mean, like, not like I think they would have just been like, well, we can't have him here if he tried to kill you. Because that's one of the worst scenes in the show is when Lori straight up tells Rick when she's taking off her shoes, showing her nasty ass feet. I'll never forget that scene because I was like, oh man, I don't like her feet. But it's like, they're sitting there and she's like, something's got to be done about Shane. He's going to kill somebody. And then Rick like eye fucks the camera for like 20 seconds as the episode ends. And it's like, okay, yeah, she's telling him you got to do something about Shane. But then when he does something about Shane, who he says tried to kill him, which she totally said he was going to try to do, she's like, don't touch me. You're a monster. I was like, dude, what? That's when I started hating Lori. Up to that point, the only person I hated was Andrea.
Yeah, I just hated that such a flat-ass woman could put two beastly men like Shane and Rick at odds with one another. You know what I'm saying?
Fellas, she ain't got no ass.
Ain't got no ass at all.
Rick, I love you again, man.
Yeah.
I love you too, Shane.
I mean, Rick's ass was better than Lori's of any. Anyway, I'm just saying, I don't get it.
Andrea, holla at your boy.
Yep.
Then they would have been fighting over who had the racist kid. No, you knocked her up.
Yeah.
But she's your wife. No, man.
Oh, boy. But good stuff, Joe Bonds. We know you. We love you. And 3 days, I guess I didn't put these in, like, timeline order. 3 days ago, this is the one at the very top or the bottom of the list, however you want to say it. World War Hulk. Q&A, what Marvel characters do you think Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Norman Reedus would play in the MCU?
I can see Jeffrey Dean Morgan being Iron Man. He's suave. I mean, you know.
Man. That'd be interesting.
Shave the goatee, give him fancier clothes. I could see him being Tony Stark. But
yeah, I remember back when they were doing rumors that Norman Reedus was going to be Wolverine.
I could actually see that.
Yeah. Maybe.
He's just too tall, man. They need to buff Danny DeVito up and let him play Wolverine.
I see maybe like a younger Mickey Rourke doing him.
Who was it? They were in talks. What's the homeboy? Harry Potter. What's his name? Daniel Radcliffe. They have been talking because he's short, you know.
The dude from Kingsman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like when they said Daniel Radcliffe, man, a lot of people were kind of like, I'm like, dude, just like Robert Pattinson in the new Batman movie. I don't know if that movie will be any good, but I have no doubt he won't do a good job. Like if you get away from Twilight and you I would have taken that role for what they paid him. Shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in my 30s.
I had to watch it.
Oh, I did too.
My wife wanted me to watch it.
I did too.
Well,
I went with a girl to the theater, and I thought it was a horror movie.
Oh,
I
man.
didn't know what it was, and I thought she was a little too excited to go see a horror movie. Every girl I've ever dated hates horror, so I'm like, okay, this one might be good. And then halfway through it, I'm like, what? We shine? We have diamonds in our skin? Like, what?
But he wasn't the worst part of the movie.
No, not at all. Not at all. Yeah. Kristen Stewart was...
With her one face for every expression.
Have you seen her new movie?
No.
The one in the ocean?
Meg?
No, not Meg. It's it come out like it come out like early 2020, I think. But it's like where they're in like this it's one of those movies I like because it just starts out.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, she actually does pretty good in that. Like I give her props. Like she's definitely. I've not really enjoyed most of her movies, but I feel like in that movie she actually did pretty good.
She reminds me of like the Meg from Family Guy. She's there. She's there. It's like okay.
Shut up, Kristen. No, Twilight was. I remember the third one. My little sister got the third one for Christmas, right? I had already seen the first two, and she was like, let's all watch it. And I was like, I do not want to watch Twilight on Christmas. She's like, no, this one is all action. Like, this is the one that guys will like, too. And I was like, my dad was, of course, just like, let's watch it. And I'm like halfway through it, like, where they spent 90% of the movie training for the big fight. And then I don't care if you don't want this spoiled, don't watch Twilight. But it's like, then they have this giant fight scene, and it was all just a premonition. And you're like,
what?
Can I get my hour and a half back, please? Right. I could have been watching Jingle All the Way or National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
A good Christmas movie.
I will give them credit. The wolves look good.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't sparkle in the sunlight or nothing.
But it's like when they would punch each other, their heads would just shatter like ice. Yeah. And I was like, dude, I don't understand it.
That's not how vampires work.
No.
At least not where I come from.
Well, that's the Danville vampires. Where I come from, them Louisiana vampires, they're a little bit different. They don't sparkle.
Usually, around here you give them enough money for a dub and a strip, and they'll leave you alone.
Mine, you just give them some gumbo.
They're trying to get the meth out of it.
Yeah, man, they do. They just need another rock, baby. They just need that fix. That's all.
You do be seeing some people around here though that look like a vampire. Like they step out of the shadows beside Walmart, and they're like, "Do you have any change?" Like they're scared to step into the sunlight.
Yeah, man. I saw a junkie trap the other day. It was a sign that said, needs Suboxone, and I imagine just someone comes walking up to that and touches it, and rope grabs them by the ankle, and next thing you know, they're swinging from a tree.
You got any change?
But no, man, you know who I was thinking about? Jeffrey Dean Morgan in the MCU, white Nick Fury, like the original Nick Fury, man.
Oh, yeah.
I think he would be awesome playing him.
I could see that. I don't
know if we'll ever get a white.
What do y'all think? Who could you see Jeffrey Dean Morgan playing, and who could you see Norman Reedus play?
I see Doctor Strange.
Jeffrey Dean, yeah, I can see that. Got a little bit more countrified Doctor Strange.
Hot damn, Oculus! Like, what's a spell he cast?
Yeah.
I am the Sorcerer Supreme. Damn.
I think he's got the look of like he could pull off the look of for like Magneto, a younger Magneto,
Yeah.
like the Michael Fassbender era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The good Magneto, which Ian McKellen was awesome. I say the good. I like the First Class, kind of that lineup of X-Men. I wasn't a big fan of any like X1, X2, X3 had some good parts in it, but I just never was a big fan of those.
I
Like they threw
loved
graphics
X2.
in, but no storyline.
I couldn't follow it. Like the timeline jumps kept jumping around, and I was like, I'm gonna wait till these all come out in a series.
Just watch them in the
all
order
together, you know.
Yeah, I could see him almost could see him playing like Doctor Doom.
Oh, yeah.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan is Doctor Doom.
I always thought I'd like to see Christian Bale do Doctor Doom.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Which he's joining the MCU now is who?
He's going to be in the new Thor movie. I forget. He's not going to be Beta Ray Bill like a lot of people thought. I think he's going to be like the villain. I just can't remember the character's name.
I have a question. Because you're more up on the Thor. I'm only reading a little bit of Thor in comics. Is Beta Ray Bill's horse-looking face, that's just a mask?
No, that's just like his Asgardian form. He's definitely like a weird-looking alien, but when he picks up a Stormbreaker, he transforms the same way that Donald Blake would transform into Thor. Well, he looks a lot more horsey.
Because I know in the what is it, the Prey story going on now, like Donald Blake beats the shit out of everybody, and then Beta Ray Bill's just this little like alien head.
Yeah.
I didn't know what was going on with that.
Did I send you the meme where it was Thor released Tony Stark's phone number, and if you called it, it was legit Tony Stark's phone number?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
I think we called that one morning. JP and I did. God, that was about a year or so ago.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
What?
I forgot Christian Bale's playing Gore the God Butcher, which is
Yeah.
one of the most badass villains of like the last 20 years.
You got excited on that one.
Yeah, I totally forgot they're bringing that into the MCU. That's by far one of my favorite Thor story arcs.
Are y'all
Like,
excited
ever.
for Natalie Portman's return
No.
as Lady Thor?
Yeah, it better not be her fighting Gore. It better be like a broken, like unworthy Thor, with this badass battle axe.
But, I mean, would they do that again, though? They've already had an unworthy Thor. Like, I mean, that was the whole first movie was him being unworthy. You think they would go back to that again?
Yeah, but I mean, this is different. He's like, it's not that he's got to prove himself. It's that he's like kind of in disgrace almost. So he's drinking more. Only he's not like a weird pot-bellied hippie.
I just
Thor.
was waiting for him to pull his axe into the air and lightning strike him, and he's back to being muscular or something. That was probably my
I
biggest
wanted
beef.
a training montage of like just a minute or two of like
Right.
we need a hero playing in the background.
Yep.
Him like running on a treadmill.
I need a hero.
Yeah.
Well, what they could have done is you could have had Ant-Man like before things got heated up. Ant-Man could have taken him into the like the what do they call it, the macroverse, whatever, and like where time works differently, and like I need you to take me there so I can train up real quick.
Yeah.
I can't fight like this, and then he could have come back and been like, "That's better,"
Ripped.
I mean, when he was fat, I was like, "Okay, that's funny." But when do we get like? I mean, the whole Infinity War, there was a whole like segment on how muscular he was, and what was it? Drax was like straight up man crushing on him, and all of that. And now it's just like Big Lebowski, the whole movie.
Thor Lebowski.
What made me mad is they gave him an eye. I thought he looked so much cooler with the patch.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
When Rocket told him how he had to get it out,
I had to sneak that
he's
in
like, you might
my.
want to clean that.
I like he's like smacking. He's like, I don't think this thing works, and it was like short circuiting and stuff. That was hilarious. But no, he did look badass with like the one eye patch. In the comics, did he lost an eye in the comics, didn't he?
An eye and an arm.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Does he still have a metal arm?
No, he got it back when he took on the power of the Allfather. I'm pretty sure it might have been when Galactus made him a herald. I think that's when he got his arm back. Yeah.
Was that all the Walking Dead what ifs?
We pretty much hit everybody.
Was there somebody? Did Eternal Rec have one more? I always like to hit his. I know you said something about he
Well,
had.
I decided to go back to it since I saw the Quentin Tarantino. I was like, that's cool. But,
I want to know who did Norman Reedus would play.
man, what would you think of him as Gambit?
I could see that.
See, maybe
I could see that.
kick-ass
Ghost
Gambit.
Rider.
But can you
Ghost
imagine
Rider would be cool.
Norman Reedus with a Cajun accent though?
Yeah, that might be. He'd have to work on it.
Y'all come on over here. I fought zombies.
I'm gonna shout at you.
What's funny is like the whole time I lived in Louisiana. I mean, granted I was little, but I don't remember anybody with a Cajun accent. If anything, it was just more like this. Hey y'all, we're going down to the swamp and getting gator.
Yeah.
Just remember in Louisiana, you had to check your shoes for scorpions. I don't.
Oh God.
Yeah, I don't miss that. One of my friends, her and her husband lived in Texas, and like she said they spent a lot of money on fluorescent flashlights because when you're cleaning, scorpions glow in black light because of something in their skin or in their shell. And like that was like a legit routine. If you were going to clean or reach under something, you shine the black light in there to light up a scorpion if it was in there. And I was like, yeah, I'm glad the worst thing I have to deal with is like a wolf spider. Here in VA, we don't really have too many terribly venomous things. Black widows, brown recluses, and copperheads. And that's about it.
That's about it, yeah. About it.
And JP.
Yeah, I can have a little venom sometimes. No, I'm sweet. I'm sweet. But yeah, Virginia's all right with me. It's pretty good.
Sometimes when we podcast, I like to just be completely silent because you can just watch JP unravel when he has nothing to bounce off of.
He was trying to explain. He's like, yeah, I am sweet. Yeah, he was telling himself, like, yeah, I'm sweet. Yeah,
I am sweet.
Yeah.
It takes a little convincing, but I think it's true.
It's like on the Patreon cast sometimes, JP will be like, yeah, that's JP's like when you podcast with somebody for like 4 or 5 years, you learn like little things and mannerisms they do, like when they're out of gas or when they're not feeling it or whatever. And JP's is whenever he goes, but yeah, that means I have nothing else to say about this subject. Take over or let's be silent.
Yeah. No, we'll be all right.
And sometimes I like to just go. And then he's like, and then he'll just completely go to something random.
Maybe.
Like, did you read Gideon Falls?
It wrapped up all right.
But man, so that's all the what ifs. We're done for today.
Yeah, right at the hour mark too.
This is my last week in this studio. Not even a week. I don't even get a full week. I get through Thursday, and then I am gone. JP has been with me every single morning for like the last 4 years. I think he's gonna miss me.
I'll miss certain things. Sure I will. It'll be good. It'll be new waters, easier to sneak naps in. That's for sure. So it'll be all right. Yeah, it'll be all right.
I just love letting him wind down, and it always wraps up with, it's basically like, back to you, Justin.
No, I ain't got nothing else to say.
But no, so I think we're going to try to do a Walking Dead What If this weekend as a test run from the home studio. Because the way we're going to do it's a little bit different than just streaming. So we'll do that. But guys, you should definitely come down more often. I hate that it's an hour and a half drive for you, but if you're ever this area, which next time you'd be coming to my home studio. So, and JP would still be up here. Or y'all could come here. Either way.
We'll figure it out.
Which, JP, we got to build a home studio for you as well.
Yeah, that's the next big challenge.
Mine's almost complete. But JP, we did mine first because JP still has this giant studio to use, whereas I'm like, all right, either I'm going to sound like ass or we got to build mine first. But it's almost complete. But thanks for the Lucille, man. Like, that is...
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Bad. How hard was it to make this? It
took me like 5 minutes.
Really?
Yeah. Easy.
I love that. Have you ever watched Zombie Go Boom on YouTube, that channel? They test, like, weapons and stuff. So they had a Lucille bat that they made, which those guys, it gave them a hard time trying to make it. You did it in like 5 minutes. But like they basically thought that it was going to be useless. They were like, the steel, and it ended up being super lethal because like not only did the wire kept the bat intact much longer, kept the wood from breaking and all of that, but it actually made the force of the hits much stronger because you got a little bit more weight to it. And then they actually dressed a zombie up like Glenn and bashed his brains in. Ooh. And they were shocked. They were like, wow, we thought that this was not going to be that lethal. And holy crap, we see why Negan carries Lucille around. Not that, I'm going to go do that. But.
Yeah, thanks. Make me sleep easier at night.
It's like next week, JP's no longer on the podcast. Oh, no. Who am I kidding? JP will be the one to sneak into my house.
He'll right up your butt.
Get all...
Whoa! Giggity.
He'll get all shroomed up, be in my house, and be like, all right, Glenn, stay still. I'm not Glenn. Stop it, JP.
Oh, it'll feel good once it's in there. Yeah.
I'm not even going to speculate on that.
Yeah.
Dude. Roar. I think whenever JP gives a dirty comment, now I'm just going to say roar, dude. But it's so fun having more people on the podcast. I definitely got to do it again, whether remotely or you guys coming down. But we'll be on the Patreon tomorrow. And then I don't even know what we're doing on Wednesdays anymore.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Ever since I felt like YouTube nerfed our channel, I've just been scared to say the word conspiracy. Oh, it's like now this video is going to be like...
I watched y'all's last one, the conspiracy one.
Which one was that? What did we do for the last one? I can't even remember.
No, you did the Christmas one. I watched that one. I like that. I didn't know that about Jingle Bells.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love random facts, man. If it weren't about a billion, like, list channels out there, I would definitely have, like, a little playlist where it was, like, top 10 things you didn't know about, whatever. Because I'm like, I have an entire bookshelf that is just, like, random fact books. When I go to Barnes & Noble, I always get, like, the $7 random fact books. Like China. I always use this one. Did you know if you went to China and everyone that lived in China stood in a line and walked in front of you, you'd never live to see the end of the line?
I don't believe
That's how many people are in China. Yep. If they were single file. But anyways, have a good Monday, good week, and we'll see you tomorrow on Patreon, which if you're not a patron, you should go check it out. I mean, for as little as $1 a month, you get 8 extra podcasts. It's pretty dope.
Not bad, yeah.
It's
Definitely worth it.
As soon as we get our video going, we'll probably make it to where it's like, because I feel bad for tiers, because some people do $5, people do $10, people do $20, and I feel bad because I'm like, man, I feel like we need to do something more for the people that pay more. So we'll probably start doing like video podcasts. If you're above, if like $5 or above, it's actual video versus audio. But we'll never take the podcast from the dollar subscribers either.
No way.
But we'll see you soon. I'm Justin.
I'm JP.
I'm the Appalachian American.
I'm Tommy Gunn.
We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.